a minute anyway to maybe wait until people get on?
Yeah. We might as well.
All right, we are streaming live on Facebook. I'm going to double check it. Let's see if we're on there.
What group are we in?
We are there. Well, so I'm not in a group. We're going to stream just on my page. And then if you want to share it, you can.
Cool.
Or I can tag you. I should be able to tag you after, right?
Yeah, you should be able to tag me at some point.
Okay. Cool. Cool. All right. Let's see if we get anybody watching. I know at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I just raced home from errands.
Yeah, it's a weird time to do it, but
it's all good. It'll be there.
We're all on a different schedule now, you know, I mean, I think my husband's going to get up and go to work at 7 and he's here till 8:30 or 9. I'm like, what are you doing?
Why are you still here? Yeah.
Yeah. Why are you still here? Why haven't you left yet?
Right. That's funny. Okay. All right. So we'll get started. I'll just kind of monitor this just in case anybody is watching and if they have any questions or anything. So, okay. So I am super excited, you guys. I don't know why I haven't done this before. I mean, I don't know, just not thinking, just nervous, right? I don't like to go live. I don't think about it. That's why I know Gwen's nodding her head. It's definitely gotten me out of my comfort zone in the last year for going live. I was always like, that's great for other people. That's not good for me. So I'm trying to do it more, but I'm super excited. I wish I had thought to do it last month because last month in March in my Facebook group, my healthy Facebook group, Experience One Simple Change, it was every single day I talked about autoimmune diseases. It was autoimmune disease month, which I didn't, realize. And I can't even believe how many autoimmune diseases there are. I mean, I'm meeting more and more people, right? And I think I hear about MS and lupus, the most. But there's so many that when I was doing that, all the posts that I had no idea. So I'm super excited to talk to you. I don't want to steal your thunder, but I kind of want to just hear your journey. I know that when I started, getting healthier, my health changed, but I didn't even have, I had allergies, but it's not quite the same. And I say that I think I'll always have allergies, but I'm just not symptomatic, right? I don't have any symptoms. I don't have to take medication and stuff anymore. So I don't know if that's the same with, MS, like you can be symptom free. How does that work?
Yeah, it can be. I mean, for me anyway, I've calmed my immune system down enough that I have no reactions. I have no issues until I get nuked and I eat the wrong food. And then all of my symptoms come back, So like when we were at conference in Tampa, I got nuked at a restaurant before conference started. So my whole entire conference.
I'm sorry, you're frozen on the screen. You're moving a little bit. Okay.
I'm frozen.
You're frozen.
Is that better?
I think. I'm trying to watch. Yes. Yep.
I'm frozen.
You're moving at a slower pace for sure.
It's got to be my internet.
Are you close to where your router and stuff is right now or no?
Well, just like a room away.
Oh.
It's terrible here.
Let me mute myself. Go ahead and start to talk. Let me mute myself so I can listen on the thing, because at least if they can hear you and your words of wisdom, then we're good.
I can turn my video off.
Hang on one second. Let me. Okay, so I am hearing you just fine.
Okay.
You just are kind of in slow motion.
So maybe I should turn off my video and then you could just hear me.
Oh, I hate to not look at you.
I know, but if it doesn't sound good, we don't want that.
All right, well, maybe turn it off and turn it on. I don't know.
Okay. Okay, hold on. Let's see if it catches back up. Do I sound okay now with the video off?
So it still shows you. It doesn't show video off. Isn't that funny? But I can hear you just fine.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll just
Should we
roll
try
with
and
it.
should I try and start this again? There you are.
No,
There's a beautiful picture.
it's my end. So I don't
Okay.
know, but I turned my video off here. If
Okay.
it's working for you, that's awesome.
Well, now I see your beautiful picture. Okay, so let's just talk and then maybe in a little bit you can try video again.
Okay. So my MS, let's just go there. My MS reared its ugly head 8 years ago with me when I was on an extremely low calorie diet. And I was trying to lose the last 20 pounds of baby weight. And I'd been trying for 14 years to lose that baby weight. So I was at a naturopathic doctor and she suggested that I go on this extremely low weight or low calorie diet. And I read the book on it and it warned me that by doing that, it could bring ugly diseases out and things going on in my body that I didn't know. Well, 6 weeks later, that's when I learned that I had optic neuritis and I had MS. And so from there, that's when I figured out how sick I really was. I mean, I didn't know I was sick before that. It was just ignored symptoms for years.
So I'm
Can you
sorry.
hear me?
So
Okay?
just a low calorie diet brought that on?
Yeah.
I
It,
mean, it
it, it was
exposed it.
something that
It
I,
it exposed what was there, really, I guess is what it is.
yes,
Right.
yes. It exposed the nasty virus that was, or virus, disease that was in my body just brewing and stewing. And so optic neuritis is an issue where the lesions on my brain attacked the optic nerve in my eye, in my right eye. So that was extremely painful, and that's what sent me to the doctor. I'd already had facial numbness, I'd already had hearing loss, and after years of researching, here I'd had extreme leg pains that nobody suffered with, that I had always suffered with. And then I had celiac. So I had IBSD for 20 years. So,
Oh my God.
yeah. Um, and I just thought that was normal. I didn't know. I thought that was normal for everybody. And so when I finally went to the doctor and he's like, oh, you have MS. And I went to my naturopath and she's like, trust me, I'll help you. Let's start testing for heavy metals. That was the first place we went, is heavy metal toxicity. So that's where I got really into all of this, using health for my lifestyle. And she reassured me that she could help me more than a neurologist probably would. And so I just trusted her. And I used a neurologist. I have 2 MRIs and, you know, the full scan and the spinal tap and everything that you have to get, you know. And my neurologist was very supportive. I had two. The first one was not. She was not supportive of using food as medicine or anything like that. She called my naturopath a quack and said that heavy metal toxicity didn't exist. Well, wrong. Wrong. I had the second highest level mercury toxicity my doctor had ever seen.
Oh my gosh. Now, what is, so I two questions, because as you talk, I like my head is spinning with all these questions. So why
Yeah.
did you go for heavy metal testing first? And where do these heavy metals come from, right? Because I'm sure we're all susceptible to it. I'm sure we all have mercury, right? From vaccines and different things we eat. Like we all have a bunch of metals in us. But is it just because
Yeah.
it got to a certain level or?
No, mercury poisoning presents the same way as MS does.
Hmm.
So before I got my spinal tap done, she had me testing for mercury at the same time. So when I came back in my month gap between visits, I knew I had MS, but she also knew I had the really super high mercury toxic levels.
Wow.
And I don't know the chart numbers or anything, but I was the highest she'd ever seen in her practice. So, you know, I used her pills for 6 months and I tried diligently and they really didn't work. It only reduced it about 25% in my body. That's when I rolled in with Juice Plus and I tried it. And so I doubled up on my Juice Plus instead of just the normal trio is all it was then. That's all we had then. So I started on the trio 2 times a day. And I did that for 6 months and I tested everything with blood, hair, and urine. That's the best way to get your metals tested before and after. And after that 6-month time frame, plus I added in some other lifestyle changes. I was 100% heavy metal free after
Oh my
6
gosh,
months on
I
G+.
just got chills. That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah. So, this stuff is gold. It's gold, and we don't even know what it does, but that hasn't even been tested legally, with all of our PubMed studies, but my own personal study with blood, hair, and urine 6 months apart, and just doing this and adding in, like, I ate extra celery, I ate extra cilantro, I ate extra parsley, and I used an infrared sauna. So I would sweat a lot. Now, where you live, you go outside and sweat a lot. Well,
Well,
for me, it's hard.
in Florida,
Yeah.
sure, you just walk outside. I'm in Georgia now, so I don't sweat 100% of the year anymore.
No,
Um,
no, you don't. But you're getting there. It's warming up.
it's going to be here in a couple of months. So, okay, so
Yeah.
let's talk about, because I do hear this, right? Like I see people doing the celery juicing and I see people. So, what is it about certain foods that can help your body detox more for the metals?
Well, it's the herbs and the phytonutrients in there, and they bind to the nutrition, right? Just like with Juice Plus, they bind to the nutrients and it draws it out. So when I got diagnosed, I went on Google and I started researching what to eat to help myself detox from heavy metals. And I just did it myself, because they don't have time to help me. They help me enough. It has to be a team effort here. You're going to go to the doctor and they're going to give you a pill or whatever. Well, you got to go home and help yourself. And so, it was my body, my time, and I could sit at home and wallow in self-pity, or I could use my time and figure out what I could do for myself. And I knew that the drugs were the wrong way for me to go. I was allergic to ibuprofen and Tylenol. So
Mm.
I just couldn't even fathom approaching those drugs and putting them in my body and watching it react. I just I
So
couldn't
you
go there.
never took drugs for MS though.
No,
Yeah.
no, I did not. By the time I had made it into the doctor for my optic neuritis, it was too late for the steroids. I'd already had the attack. It was already done or something. They said it was too late. So I didn't even go on steroids then, but through the years, over time, I've been on steroids for different things. And like an allergic reaction to fish sauce one time, I was head to toe, I looked like a lizard in hives. It was horrible. And
Mm.
then they gave me this medicine and I was allergic to that. It has sulfites in it, and I was allergic to the sulfa in the meds. So that just doubled my rash.
Oh my God.
So thankfully, it happened in the winter and it was really cold in North Carolina at the time. So I ran around in a tank top and shorts and it was like 20 degrees out. It's the only way I could get any relief.
Oh my
But then
God.
they gave me
That's crazy.
steroids and cream and stuff, and I just slathered it on and I took those steroids. And I think that was an MS attack that I didn't even know. I didn't even know I had it then. And my daughter was like 5. So that was like 9. Sorry, there I go. There I go. I lost stability again.
Yeah.
So that was like 9 years before I was diagnosed when I had that rash.
So you were symptomatic for a long time. And like you said before, you just had no idea, it was, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I had at 19, I was my first issue and I had severe leg cramps and I went to the doctor and complained. And he told me he thought it was blood clots. So I went to the hospital and they checked my legs. They never found anything. I hung there for 3 hours while they stabbed my feet, trying to find the veins that they could never find to test me for the blood clots. So they told me to drink more water, that I was dehydrated, and they sent me home.
Mm.
I did that for 20 years.
Oh my God, 20
Really?
years. I mean, it
Yeah.
makes me think about how many people out there are symptomatic of, autoimmune disease and they have no idea, right? They just think I've been suffering this for 20 years. It's normal, you know?
That's exactly right. And that's what upsets me, and that's why I'm so passionate about it, because we don't pay attention to the signs that our body is giving us. We take pill instead. We have Pepto-Bismol, we have Prevacid, we have Tylenol, we have goody powders, we have
Yeah.
ibuprofen. I mean, we have prescription drugs. We have everything, but we choose to ignore our.
Oh, I just lost you for a minute. Hopefully you'll come back. So part of my story that I tell with like Juice Plus is that I was raised and my mom was a nurse and we were raised with treatment. We had a whole bathroom closet full of, it looked like a CVS store. And if we had a stomach ache, we took Pepto-Bismol, what Gwen was talking about, right? If we had something wrong, we went and it was all about treatment. Nobody ever said anything about, prevention. So it wasn't, and I suffered just with different things, allergies and asthma and migraines and some different things my whole life until I got pregnant with my son and somebody introduced me to Juice Plus. And that to me, oh, we lost Gwen. She'll come back. That to me was like the catalyst for getting healthier. And then it kind of started with, then I started to eat more fruits and vegetables and I started to add in some of the healthy stuff and I started to eliminate some of the bad stuff. So, I hope Gwen can make it back on. I know she was having some internet issues. So I wanted to get on here because I meet so many people, it seems like, that have autoimmune diseases and they suffer and they just don't know that there's other ways besides just medication. And you don't have to, I'm not saying you have to, give up medication. Certainly don't give up medication, but incorporating and doing some of the, changes in your lifestyle, Juice Plus, heavy metal detecting. What a question I want to ask you, Gwen, I hope you come back, is that why with she said, hair, blood, and oh my gosh, there you are. Oh, that's better. That's better. Now you're like moving. So my question, I was just saying, I hope Gwen comes back.
I'm sorry, I'm on my phone now, so maybe
okay.
we'll have better luck.
That's better. That's better. So my question is, why? I know you said, and I couldn't remember, that for the metal testing, you did hair and blood test, and what was the third?
Urine.
Urine. So why all three? Why are they different?
Okay, your metals come out of all three forms. So they like to test all three forms, but different organs excrete it differently. So like your urine will show from maybe your liver, and then your hair from a different organ, and your kidneys through your skin or something. I don't remember the exact science on it, but I do remember different organs excrete it differently. So the way to make sure that it's all coming out is to test all three areas. So like the doctor took a pencil size clip of hair out of the very back, so it can't be colored or anything. You have to have pure, you don't want to have anything funky in your hair. So they try to pick a spot that's not been colored or anything, that you won't see, that you won't be mad, if it's gone and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. I had always heard that. So who does that kind of testing? If let's say somebody happens to be watching this and they're like, oh my gosh, maybe these are, autoimmune disorders. Yeah. Does your regular doctor do that, or do you have to find a naturopathic doctor? Yeah.
Or a functional medicine doctor, either one, and they will do it. But regular doctors don't know enough about it. I just was reading something today. A naturopathic doctor has a full medical training. They've been through all the medical classes, plus they've gone through all the naturopathic classes. So they know two sides of medicine. So they're kind of actually they do the whole body. They don't just focus on the drug side. They focus on the whole side, inside and out. So they are more in depth. The regular doctors just don't go there. They don't have time. They don't get paid. I mean, insurance isn't going to pay for it.
Right. Yeah. Nope. Yeah. They don't get paid for prevention. They get paid for treatment.
That's right. Yeah. They don't like me at all. I don't go to the doctor at all. I mean, they don't like me at all. I should be like signing up for every kind of drug test program there is. I should be doing all of that stuff, and no way. I'm not going that route.
Yeah. Well, I know when you were switching to your phone, I was talking about how my mom was a nurse and we grew up and it was always treatment. If you felt terrible, you took something for it. So I know
Right.
I don't want to be on. I could talk to you for hours. I know, just because, I love you anyway. But so the other thing too is, because with like within the Juice Plus community, I hear often that people, they take Juice Plus, and I'm not telling people to get off of their medication, but I would assume that they could start lifestyle changes. They can start with Juice Plus. So how
Yeah.
do they know? How do you monitor? How do you do that? Like if you want to make lifestyle changes and get off of medication, if you're on medication.
Well, you're going to have to work with your doctor. Okay. That's the first key, is you've got to work with your doctor. And if the doctor isn't willing to help you with that, you're going to have to find another one. And they're out there. You can find them. There's actually functional medicine neurologists out there. There's a few. They're coming around the bend. They're coming out there. And like my neurologist is a Ayurvedic. So she does all the Eastern medicine as well, like, East Indian medicine. She's into all of that. So I could go to her and learn all about that from her. So you just have to find a special doctor that'll work with you on it. But, they're online, functionalmedicine.org, I think. You can go there and they'll have a whole list where you can just put in your zip code and you can find one that's close to you and reach out. And I bet now 90% of them are online. I bet you could totally just go online and have your appointment online with the doctor. And by far, it's the best thing I ever invested. It was $150. It was a 2-hour appointment, but I had to fill out like a 2-week food journal and send it in to her to analyze what I ate and what was making me so sick. And so when I went in there, she had a plan for me already established. And then she just talked to me for a little while, hour and a half. And then I went back and I went back and I went back and I went back for a good solid year. I spent a lot of money in that lady's office, but it was worth it.
Well, but think about it. Like we go and we pay a copay for $50, and doctors see us for 10 minutes, because it's like a catalog,
Yeah.
right? Because they got to have so many people in,
Yeah.
paid.
Yeah.
So, you kind of get what you pay for. I'd rather pay 150. I did that with my son years ago with a Chinese medicine doctor, where
Yes.
well, it's too long of a story. This isn't my story, but anyway, and we spent about $100, and he spent probably about an hour and a half with us talking to us about food, and we didn't get that from a regular doctor. So
No. And they don't have the experience or the knowledge either.
yeah.
So, you just have to, don't be afraid, keep your regular doctor, but find another one. You got to have a team. I have a medical team. I don't have just one. I have a team. I have a special chiropractor. I mean, that's all part of dealing with my MS is doing that. And it's worth it for me. The prescription drugs are $150, $200 a day. Dude, spending $100 a month on the quad. Hello. I mean, and I take Juice Plus because it's proven, let me put this in there, to reduce systemic inflammation in your whole entire body. That's where it's at. That's what we're focused on. We don't want any more inflammation in our brain and our spines that create the lesions. So this thing reduces it at a cellular level, top to bottom, head to toe. It's gold to me. And I will be on it forever. And I do take it twice a day. I throw it in my shake every morning, boom, and I'm done.
Yeah. And I do hear that. I hear people with different autoimmune or their cancer or whatever, and they take different, varying amounts depending on, what works for them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. With an autoimmune, Juice Plus recommends you take it twice a day with an autoimmune, and then more if you're sick.
Right. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
gosh. Well, I love all that information. The only thing I would say is if somebody is watching this later, I don't think we have too many people watching right now, but if somebody is watching this later and anybody has any questions, I'm going to tag Gwen in this because this is on my wall. If anybody has any specific questions, I'm sure she would probably answer them, and I just
they can reach out.
Yeah, I just thank you so much, my friend. I always just love, but I mean, I just love when I see you at conference. I can't wait till we have a live conference and I can actually give you a hug.
I know. Hopefully October. We're hoping for October.
Yeah. I know. So so much fun being able to talk to you and learn, because as many years as I've known you, I haven't been asking you these questions. So thanks so much for sharing everything.
That's what I'm here for.
Yep. All right. Have a good day, everybody.
You too. Bye.
Bye.